if you're moving to Nashville from California, you've got so many questions, whether you visited the city or not. I know you've got lots of questions. Well, today we're going to talk about what the experience from many, many, many Californians who have already moved here in the last couple of years. What has their experience been? What have they found? And what is the worst thing they have found about Tennessee, but they just really had no idea? Not their fault. They had no way of knowing because they hadn't experienced it before. See you on the other side. Stay to the end for an enormous announcement. Welcome back. I'm Susan Thetford, and we're going to talk today about 11 reasons. 11 reasons that people who have moved from California to Tennessee have told me that they have moved to Tennessee. Now, I'm a realtor here. I have been a realtor for 35 years. I can't tell you that I have the experience of moving because I don't. I have listened very carefully, and I'm intrigued with some of the reasons that people have told me they have moved to Tennessee, specifically to the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area, specifically from California. Because, as I say, I can't imagine what it's like to live in California. As you know, we all hear all kinds of things, and so I want to tell it to you like it is. This is why I'm hearing people from California move to Tennessee, which you know, but what they're finding when they get here. And then there's one thing that none of them were ready for, and it really does stink about Middle Tennessee area. I'm the first to admit it. I haven't figured out a way to get over it. Got to stick around to the end, and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, the first reason everybody tells me they're so interested in moving to Tennessee is because we are one of 9 states that do not have income tax. With the business environment, with the tax environment, with the new laws that are coming into the state of California, so many people are looking for a way to be able to get ahead. We've had inflation. We have a lot of issues. We had the COVID lockdowns. So many things. People are looking for a way to financially get ahead. Obviously, if you don't have a state income tax, that's a big reason, and that is the number 1 reason. No, probably 2 or 3, but it's very high up on the list of reasons that people tell me they've been looking at moving to Tennessee. No income tax. Now, we tend to be far less expensive than California as far as homes, as far as food, as far as energy, as far as gas goes. I'll get to that in a second. As far as, gasoline, fuel in your car. Many, many reasons, but I will warn you, we are taxed on food. I didn't realize that in California, you were not taxed on your food from the groceries. We are here in Tennessee taxed on that. We have some tax-free holidays throughout the year where you can purchase, especially getting ready to go to schools. We also have just passed a new law regarding food and things for toddlers, infants and toddlers. But we are taxed on food. When you consider that we aren't taxed on 8 to 12% of your state income tax that you've got in California, that takes a whole lot of food to make up for that one. So this is future editing me, and I left out something that I think might be of interest to you. What have some people who've moved from California thought about Tennessee after they've been here for a year, 2 years? So I'm going to read direct quotes from what some things that people have told me about it is, and see what you think. So this first family have been here now for 2 years in Tennessee. But when they first started talking to me, I'd ask the questions, what are your main reasons for moving here? And it's not unusual. First thing I heard was from this family directly. They wanted a better place to raise their children. That was their main reason. They wanted their kids to be safer. They wanted their kids to be able to ride their bike in the neighborhood. And they just felt like Tennessee was going to be a better place for them. Now, 2 years later, this is what they've told me. Tennessee way of life is far more wholesome. I know my neighbors. My neighbors care about me. They wave. They even bring my trash can in when I forget to do it or leave for work too soon. I like that it's a more religious area. There's lots of churches to choose from. And I felt immediately a part of the religious community where we are now. So it's pretty good. Another reason that people love the idea of Nashville, once they've started doing their research, is that Nashville has options. We have a lot of options for living, depending on what you want your lifestyle to be. Do you want a fast urban lifestyle where there's nightlife and there's walking communities and walking neighborhoods where you can walk from home to get to the restaurants? We've got that. Do you want a high-rise, a condo, apartment, or apartment living? We've got all that. You want the high style of that? Or do you want to be more of in a suburban neighborhood with large lots on an acre for children in great school districts? What is it that you want? Do you want to be on several acres and have chickens and maybe have horses? No, when it gets to livestock, you absolutely have to talk to me, because each area has different restrictions as to how many acres, for example, you need with a horse. You can't just have a horse in your backyard, because that's cruel to horses. I grew up with them. I know it. You need to have fields. You need to have pastures. You need to have it turn over. The point is, if you want to be 30, 40 minutes from downtown Nashville, you can easily be in a very rural setting at a lesser expensive properties with lots more acreage. Now, is it going to be a brand new house on a very large lot at a very affordable price? No. So that's why we really need to talk. What is it that are your 5 most important must-haves in a new home or in a new hometown in your home? And what is that budget? And we can tailor make the locations that you should be in based on those top 5 to 10 priorities. Nashville offers an abundance of all kinds of lifestyles. And not only that, we're not landlocked. So many places are landlocked by the ocean on one side or the mountains on one side, and everybody just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. That's not the way Nashville is. We've got a lot of space still to be able to grow and to move out to here in Middle Tennessee. Why are people moving to Nashville from California, or Tennessee from California, or the South from California? It's the people, it's the lifestyle, it's the friendliness. Now, we hear people laugh all the time about, oh, bless your heart.
Oh, bless his heart.
Bless him.
Which is meant to be a slander, and it's tongue-in-cheek, really putting you down. Frankly, that's kind of something that people not from here really say we say, but in general, we don't. Now, you know, if you talk to somebody in their 90s, late 90s, they might have, but they also didn't freely use words that all of us kind of freely use right now. So that was just a different way. Look, Tennesseans are friendly people. And I will tell you, that's one thing we're really concerned about with the influx of people coming from other areas. They don't seem to recognize that the friendliness is real. Generally, we're not looking for something from you by being friendly and turning around and speaking to you and saying, hey, how are you doing? I hope you're enjoying the weather. I mean, that's something to talk about all the time, right? Here, maybe not in California. But we turn around in lines and talk to people. Hey, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, your child is so cute. Whatever. It's not to find out something about you. It's not to pick your pocket on the backside. It's not for those things, because we aren't that way. And I'm finding that really, honestly, people have a little difficulty with that. I was once standing in line down by Vanderbilt when a lot of people knew families were coming in to begin the school year, and standing behind someone in a coffee shop. And the line was pretty long, and it was taking a while to get through. Oh, Fido's. It was at Fido's. So I just turned around. I mean, you don't just ignore people around you, right? So I turned around. Hey, how you doing? Have you ever been here before? Because they were looking carefully at the menu. And the lady was like, oh, it was the weirdest thing. I thought, had I said something wrong? Did she not understand me? What happened? She said, you were the first person to speak to me. You're the first person to say anything. I was wondering if everybody here wasn't friendly. So, well, I think I'm from here. Who have you been talking to? She said, a lot of people who are from different areas bringing their kids to school. Well, that explains it. Look, we are friendly. We're not trying to find out anything about you. When you move in, one of your neighbors is likely to come over, bring you maybe balloons, bring you a plate of brownies, bring you cookies, bring you something to welcome you to the neighborhood. That's not to see what your furniture looks like and to see if they can get some, or to come steal your house, or it's not for anything other than to say, hello, happy to have you here. Look forward to getting to know you. When my children were pretty young, one of the neighbors moved in. They had small children about my kids' age. I was getting ready to take my kids to Opryland, and they were, it's hard to move in with young children and get things done actually underfoot, especially at that young age. So what actually happened was, I said, hey, your kids are about my kids' age. They played a little bit together. We're going to Opryland tomorrow. Would be okay? Would they like to come with us? We had a blast. We had a wonderful day. became very good friends with this family, and it was normal. I wasn't trying to steal their children. And I can understand if you're coming from a really high strung area where you've got to be on the lookout for everything awful, please, no, that's not gonna happen here. Nah, you know, use your judgment. You've got it. People are not looking to scalp you in any way when they move to the area, especially if they're from Nashville already. My goodness, I forget to do this every single time. I'm Susan Thetford with eXp Realty. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. Every single week I do a new video to share with you, either vlogs of different areas of Nashville. Nashville is an 8-county SMSA. Nashville has so many cities outlying Nashville that you would never ever know about if we don't talk about it. Maybe the inner city, maybe being 15, 20 minutes from downtown Nashville with $1 million budget isn't you. That doesn't mean you can't live here very happily. Maybe you don't want a big city, but you do want to be 15 minutes from your Costco's or your good groceries, but you want parks and you want friendly children's neighborhoods. You want different things for different areas. And I'll get to that, it's a little later, but that's what we do on this show, is show you all the different areas of Nashville, the pros and the cons of each. And every single week, there's something new, a new topic. If you have a question, please go ahead and put it here in the comments. It will become a new video topic. But meanwhile, keep watching, learn about Nashville, and if it's the right area for you. All the unsaid stuff that you know I can't say, but we do talk about in private together. Because I ask these questions. How is it? It would be scary it's scary to raise a child in today's world, period. Then to raise it in an area that is so many changes and so liberal in the laws, it could be scary. So many people are moving for that reason. It's very seldom that anybody says it right off to me, but it doesn't take long before that comes up immediately. I get it. You want to be able to take your family to dinner and walk down the sidewalk and not run past homeless tents or drug paraphernalia. You want to be able to not be people homeless to come up and ask for money. You don't want to have to explain that to your children, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. You want your teenagers to be able to be safe walking in their streets. Now, I'm not going to tell you we don't have crime. We do, but it's certainly not to the extent that I am told Californians in the very nice areas of town, you're not going to find people in the shelters. It's a problem everywhere. But at the same point, that doesn't mean just because it's a problem everywhere, you have to keep your kids there. People are searching for places that are more family friendly, and we'll find that for you. If that's of importance to you, you let me know, because I won't be putting you downtown. Even if you tell me I want a downtown high-rise condo within 10 minutes of walking distance to Broadway, well, I can't give you that in that family-friendly atmosphere. The only place you're really going to find an awful lot of that on a very seen basis is down on Lower Broad. Down on Lower Broad is frankly where there's so much tourism. Nashvillians don't hang out on Lower Broad except for to take a friend here and there who wants to go visit all the fun honky-tonks. It's fun occasionally. Nashvillians do not really do it on a whole. We have music anywhere all over the city that they can go to if they want to hear live music. Every county has what you've got. You can learn to line dance. You don't have to go to the Wild Horse Saloon on 2nd Avenue. You've got all these things everywhere else. Nashvillians, for the most part, are not down on Lower Broad except for July 4th for fireworks. When you see someone walking around in a cowboy hat, or you see somebody in cowboy boots, or you see short Daisy Dukes, those are tourists. Those are not Nashvillians. So I hope they're having a wonderful time, but you're not going to catch a Nashvillian wearing any of that unless they happen to actually be on a horse. So this family has been here for a year now, and they said that they were looking for more conservative family principles. Same as before. But here's a direct quote. If you don't like your guns, the U.S. flag, freedom, and the quote, don't tread on me, then don't come to Tennessee. Okay. So let's piggyback on that cost of living. Tennessee is considered 10% less than the average United States cost of living. We tend to run about 7% lower than the average cost of living for housing, 10% lower than the average United States for health care. median sales price of homes, $428,000. When you consider California, far, far higher than that. I get people telling me anywhere from 700 to $1.2 million. Of course, it all depends on which town, which city, how close to the city you live in each of these areas. But in general, we are quite a bit less expensive. When you look at milk and eggs tend to run 20% cheaper here. Our gas, today I checked, prices of gas in the downtown Green Hills, I guess you'd call it the wealthier areas of Nashville, can run anywhere from $3.59 all the way down to $3.09 is what I found it when I went to Thompson Station yesterday. I checked today, the cost of average unleaded, not talking premium, unleaded fuel is $1 higher in California today, $4.54. Number 6. Actually, it should probably be number 2 or 3 on this list. I'm trying to do it sort of in order of how people talk to me about Nashville. Because I get them in the cars, we're showing property and go, what is it about Nashville? What is it that you are getting away from or trying to run to when you move to Nashville? One of the things I hear about consistently is great employment. So here's the thing. People know of Nashville as Music City. They think of us as just music. Between songwriting, production, entertainment, the back things all involved with all that entertainment, that's huge. But that's not even our biggest industry. Tourism, healthcare are frankly our 2 biggest money-making industries. We have a very high employment rate. And especially with the recent trend toward working from home, so many people can bring their jobs here and work from anywhere and keep their jobs wherever they were. And probably if they come from a large city, anywhere in California, your salary is going to be more there, but your cost of living is less here. So that's a true win-win. But let's talk about some of the biggest industries of Nashville. Is not just music, it's not just tourism. As a matter of fact, the headquarters for Amazon has recently moved to the downtown Nashville area. The largest fulfillment center in the country is in Mt Juliet, which is county east of downtown Nashville by about 20-25 minutes. Vanderbilt, between the university and healthcare of Vanderbilt, is the #1 employer in the city. Nissan, Ascension, HCA Healthcare again, St. Thomas Hospitals, Community Health Systems, Shurian, Kroger. Those are some of the top employers in the city. But we are a great entrepreneurial hub for people, and it's really not hard to find a job here if you're willing to work and looking for work. Are you prepared for 4 seasons? Are you prepared? We do have winter, we do have summer, and boy, when we have summer, you recognize it. I say, are you ready for that? They go, no, California weather is beautiful, but it's kind of boring. I mean, the day never ever changes. My daughter actually lives in Sacramento right now, and she's saying it's beautiful, but the days really don't change. Also, it can be quite cool in summer. 4 seasons is what many people tell me they're really kind of craving. Just when you're really sick and tired of the summertime, along comes fall and the beautiful changing of the colors and the crisper nights and warm days, crisp nights, loss of humidity here. It's just, California weather is beautiful, I hear. But she even said it was 70 degrees in the daytime. She said that it was actually cold, 50 degrees at night when she went up to San Francisco last weekend. It's just, it never gets really, really warm, never really, really hot, never really, really cold, but also that dampness of cold is really bone chilling to me. Nashville has 4 seasons. Our average temperatures run anywhere from 40 to extremes of about 90, 92, 93. You have heard, we do have humidity, and boy, do we have humidity. Today, it's 92 degrees. I am standing in the shade for a reason, but it's not awful. I'll tell you what that humidity does bring, though, that is awful, but that's a little later. We have 4 seasons. And actually, as I say, it's kind of fun. It's a break. We do tend to have maybe 4 to 5 inches of snow a year, if that. I don't think we even had that this year. More than snow, we get ice. And because we're very hilly, if you've seen our topography, you recognize that we're very hilly. We also have lots of trees. So those trees do not allow a lot of the back roads to lose their iciness. And so we've got some difficulty. I can't tell you how much more fun it is to have the occasional holiday from school because you weren't expecting it, but you wake up to a good old snow day. And that's the perfect time to go throw snowballs. It's the perfect time. You're prepared. I promise you're prepared, because they have been talking on the weather forecasting for days and for days of the possibility of that. So everybody's run to the store and gotten their milk and their bread, and I don't know what people do with all that extra stuff, but you're prepared, so you're not going to be caught flat-footed. And you know, the occasional extra holiday is great. Our worst times of year, to my mind, is going to be maybe January to February are the 2 worst winter months. The rest, pretty easy. The worst summer months is certainly going to be July and August. So if you want to miss those months, just don't come then. If you want to see what the worst can be like, come and see for yourself. Can you handle it? Summertime is hot outside, it's humid outside. Always, always, always keep a sweater or a shawl with you if you tend to be cool-natured like me, because you're going to get really cold when you go inside. Your glasses are going to fog up. It's a thing. But those 4 seasons, many people are craving some differences so that every day is not exactly the same. It's not Groundhog Day over and over. That's what many people are coming here for, and they're loving it. So you may have heard, we've had about 80 people a day moving here in 2022. That's actually down from 100 a day, which is what it was estimated back in 2021. 100 people a day, and that's not to Tennessee, that's to the Nashville area. We have grown tremendously. We have outgrown our road system. We truly have. But when it comes to Nashville, and I keep asking people, how does it compare to where you come from? And San Francisco, Los Angeles, some of the outlying suburbs of Los Angeles, they all say, this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing, even in our rush hour. Now, I understand from them that rush hour really is about a window of 4 or 5 hours, and it's standstill. They can read a book. It's standstill traffic. We don't have that here. Now, our rush hour is about a 2-hour period. I'll give it that, especially in the afternoons, depending on where you live. Easiest thing to do is choose to either work a little late, go a little early, leave a little late, take your clothes, go work out, do whatever you need to do, but miss that peak time. If you live in Williamson County, that peak time, if you work downtown, live in Williamson County, peak time is, if you're not on the interstate by 5 o'clock, just wait till 5:30, 5:45, and it won't be a problem. It's rarely, if ever, stop and go traffic. It's just slower traffic. One other thing everyone from California needs to know, we put on our blinker and we let someone know we're going across. New Yorkers, talking to you too. We don't just shift over and expect the person to watch out for us. We do put on our blinker and we do turn. If somebody goes like this in the window behind you, after you've let them in, I'm not flipping the bird. I've had people yell at me. I'm thanking them. Thank you. Appreciate you letting me in. Use your blinker, move on over. If someone's using the blinker, let them over. You're gonna get there 2 seconds later. But our traffic is not nearly what you have in California, according to what I'm told by all my customers. You'll enjoy it. So this California transplant has been here as now Tennesseans for 1 year now. And what they told me directly is, every new day delivers a fresh Southern surprise, like Amish farm stands, serene country roads, dark starry nights, and helpful strangers. God bless Tennessee. And I know I'm going to get it in the comments. I know people are going to complain to me. I was recent about what I was saying about the homelessness. This isn't me. I don't live there. I've seen it visiting. But I was just watching a documentary, why homelessness in California is different than anywhere in the rest of the United States. This is a recent YouTube video. I'll put the link in below. It's done within the last week or so. And Stanford School of Economics did a study. In the last 10 years, homelessness is down in the general United States population by 9%. Homelessness in California is up 43%. So don't come after me saying you're ragging on California. This isn't me. I'm listening. I'm doing my research. I want to help you in getting some of the real facts. And back to last, number 10, so many things to do here. You do have the music scene. We do have great entrepreneurial activities. We do have beautiful parks throughout the whole city. There are so many things to do here. We have beautiful parks. We've got the country music. We've got great museums. We've got phenomenal classes, adult education classes. We've got church groups to belong to. We've got meetups everywhere. Again, the parks are tremendous all over the place. Within an hour, there's easily 30 parks, state parks and waterfalls, places you can explore. A lot of great outdoor activities. And look, if you need to have the beach, we are a 7.5-hour drive from Destin. the beautiful beaches, white sand, soft beaches of the West Coast in Florida and many other beaches. So we've got beaches pretty close by. You just don't have to live on the water. You also don't have to have all the hurricanes and things that I understand insurance companies are having trouble with, both California and Florida. So we've got so many things to do here, whether you're an outdoors person or not at all. Whether you're a museum person, music, we've got it for you here. We are culturally not backwoods the way a lot of people seem to still think we are. Last but not least, the reasons that people tell me they're here is usually not until they've been here about a month to a month and a half. Here's what they don't realize they're gonna get: less stress, more peace of mind in living here, a peace and a calmness that they didn't realize they had. They don't feel like they're always on tenterhooks. I'll give you two stories. When I first met one of my great friends now, she was actually at my wedding, super lady. She was moving here from California, and the very first day we went out looking at homes, I took her to a really great little restaurant that you wouldn't know about. I like to take people to things that are native Nashvilleian kind of places. We went to a nice lunch. There's probably still, I don't know, 100, 150 people in the restaurant. She went to the ladies' room and she came back to the table. About 10 minutes later, she realized she'd left her bag in somewhere, in probably the ladies' room. Her face went sheet white. She was just, what do I do? I'm here in cross country. I don't have my bag. What in the world? I said, well, the only place you've been is to the ladies' room. I'm sure it's there. She went to the ladies' room. It wasn't there. And I said, okay, don't worry. I know where it is. Someone turned it in and it's at the hostess station. It was. Someone had picked up that bag, had taken it to the hostess station for safekeeping. There was no problem. But to see the fear in her face, I knew that where she came from, and she told me where she came from, that purse would never be seen again. She would never have it again. Have another situation. Someone came from LA, and her husband traveled a lot for work. They moved here to a very quiet, peaceful place, 15 minutes from downtown. It's not suburbia. And she called me one night. She was sitting out by had a little pond in the backyard. And she called me one night and was whispering in the phone. She was scared. She said, I said, what's wrong? What's going on? She was scared. She said, I'm hearing noises. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. I listened, and I wasn't very nice because I burst out laughing. She was hearing the sound of bullfrogs at her pond in her own backyard and was so scared because she'd never heard that sound before. It was quiet. She saw stars. She heard bullfrogs. It was so unusual that it was scary to her. You couldn't make her leave right now for any money in the world, but it's just different. So the peace of mind, the relaxation, to realize you're just not so wound up anymore. I can't put a price to, but that is what people are now telling me they are feeling, even after having been here for 6 months or so. And another California transplant story, now happily ensconced here in Tennessee. They say, oh, they've been here for 2 years. The summers are windy in Fontana, and they often got above 100 to 112 degree days in Southern California. I don't know that area, but obviously it's inland Southern California. The Southern California Inland Empire is a different place. I find the humidity of Tennessee summers a whole lot more tolerable than that Inland Empire area. They also mentioned no earthquakes, no mudslides. Now, of course, you've heard me talk. We do have the potential of tornadoes and some hailstorms occasionally, and the rain that we're getting right now. But these people mentioned mudslides and earthquakes. We don't have those. Okay, I promised you one thing that nobody's prepared for, and I don't know how to prepare you for it. It's horrible. I've had it every single day, every single year of my life. It's awful, and I can give you some ideas of how to handle it, but nobody can be prepared for this if you've never lived around it. In the summertime, when it's hot and humid, when you're out in the grassy areas, even just well manicured properties, if you're walking around in the grass, you may well get chigger bites or mosquito bites or something. Everybody calls them different things. I call them no-see-ums. I never see them, but 4 hours later, I am itching like I'm doing right this very minute. They will come up and they're bites. They're mosquito bites. And you need to spray yourself. I know a lot of people don't want to put any kind of insecticides in sprays. Try Skin So Soft. Try any of those things you want to try. But I will tell you, that's one thing. I'm putting some great deep woods off. I'm putting different things on me to keep me from getting the chigger bites, because you're going to. Those 2 months of the year. We have a lot of outdoor concerts, a lot of in the grass concerts, a lot of movies in the park, both in Franklin, down in Leapers Fork, at Centennial Park. When you're going to take a blanket, great, sit in the grass. You also need to take some spray, because you will get eaten. And those little chigger bites, they don't stay right here and bite you. They go places that are much harder to check. And yeah, it's not pleasant. That's the worst thing that I can think for you. We can all get away from heat, unless you're a roofer, and I'm so sorry. But we can all get away from heat. We can cool off in the heat. We can do our running outside in the early mornings or late in the afternoons. Oh, one other thing, when you're irrigating your lawns, because we have grass, we have green, we are nice and green, you're gonna need to irrigate June, July, and August to keep that grass nice and green, which I understand. That's gonna be an extra expense for you who have come from California, who are used to landscaping with rocks. But when you do that, and you do have that water coming, mosquitoes need water too. So those are times that it's the worst. We'll talk about it. That's why you need to give me a call. I'll give you the inside scoop on so many things, and things that we hadn't even thought about, but they will come up. That's why you need to give us a call. I'm Susan Thetford with eXp Realtors. Looking forward to talking to you. And please tell me, where would you like us to go next week? Where do you want me to tell you about? What questions have you got? I'm here for you. See you next week.
The American dream is the belief that the freedoms of this country bring us together and give us all individually the opportunity to achieve our biggest goals and aspirations. Hi, my name is Craig Sewing, the creator and founder of The American Dream, a national TV show centered around real estate, lifestyle, and culture. It's been nominated for an Emmy. We bring you a show of real stories in real neighborhoods with real experts. Today, I'm excited to announce our elite expert and new host in your market. She is a master of her craft and has built her life around turning that dream that so many of us share into a reality. Follow along as she takes you on a tour of the real estate, the lifestyle, the culture of an area that she knows best, and why her city is the perfect place for you to build your American dream.